disclaimer. All topics discussed is for informational purposes only, and it is not intended to be utilized in lieu of advice from your medical professional along with diagnosis and treatment. Always seek advice from your licensed physician in regards to your medical condition. This channel makes no representation nor assumes any responsibility of accuracy of information discussed. All opinions are of my own, and I was not compensated by Lilly for this video. This is my own first-hand account and my experiences, therefore I can only speak for myself. As always, please seek out a physician when you have any questions that you may have concerning this medication. Stay tuned.
Oh, you feeling me? All of a sudden, you digging me? All of a sudden, done playing with me? All of a sudden, all in or it's nothing. Oh, you feeling me? All of a sudden, you digging me? All of a sudden, done playing with me? All of a sudden, all in or it's nothing.
Hey y'all, what's good? It's your girl Nurse KP, and I'm back with another video. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has taken the time to watch the last Mounjaro video about my 1-year take on it, and I want everyone to know that I'm grateful for the views, the responses, the comments, the questions. I've tried to answer as many people as I could with the time that I've been allotted. It's just that I've been working a lot lately, so I haven't been able to respond to everyone, so I just kind of do it when I can. And with that being said, I just wanted to do a little Q&A video to kind of expand on some of the questions that I was asked. So I've taken the time, written them down, and I wanted to provide a little commentary about Mounjaro since I've been on it this last year. Everything that I'm going to discuss in this video is my first-hand account and my first-hand experiences. None of this is to be taken as medical advice. First question I have is when to take Mounjaro. Personally, from the readings that I have come across, it does not matter what time of day that you take Mounjaro. You can take it night or day or a full or empty stomach. For me personally, I take Mounjaro in the mornings when I'm getting my children ready for school. My injection day was on Fridays, but I moved my injection days to Thursdays because sometimes, as I have stated before, I experience GI upset, and I don't know when I'm going to have that GI upset, so I move my days from Thursday to give myself a day to recover if I ever have any type of GI upset, and then get back to my weekend. So the time of day for me is around 5-6 a.m. on Thursdays, and generally I have an empty stomach when I take my Mounjaro injections. With that being said, it's because I'm not hungry in the mornings. Now, I used to be a breakfast person. I had to have breakfast every morning, but now most mornings I am not hungry, so my Mounjaro injections are basically taken on an empty stomach. So that's when I take it in the mornings. The second question is, how much weight have you lost overall? Overall, I've lost 88 pounds. I am currently down to 212. Before I started Mounjaro, I was 300 pounds. The day I gave birth, I was 311 pounds, and then I dropped a little weight, and then so the day I started Mounjaro, I was 300 pounds. I've noticed that when I do experience weight loss, I do plateau, and I get stuck between 5 and 10 pounds for a couple of weeks, and then all of a sudden I look up and I lose 10 pounds. So with that being said, there are some days, there are some weeks you are going to experience some plateau. Don't be discouraged. Keep at it. And just stay at what you do. Like I said, I've lost 88 pounds. I got down to 212. So with those days of plateau that I have experienced, I just, I do get discouraged because sometimes I do bounce around between 5 and 10 pounds. And then, like I said, all of a sudden I'll drop 10. My weigh-in days are Fridays, and generally I take a picture of my weight. That way I can have proof for myself of my weight, and I keep up with it. The app that I use to keep up with my weight is MyFitnessPal. And it accounts for the weight that I have gained, I have lost, and it just tells me like the trends that I've been on. And sometimes I do go weeks without taking my weight because of the discouragement that I do experience. So with that being said, on the Fridays that I just do it another day and when I feel like it. But primarily, I do make my weigh-in days on Fridays. And I do feel better. I'm down from a 2X, 3X to a 1X. I don't know fully what size I wear. Maybe a 16, I don't know. But I know last time I was at this weight, I was like a size 12, 14. So I don't know. I just kind of wear what fits at this point. So the total weight loss, again, is 88 pounds. And that's over a, when I say September, October, November, December, over a 15-month period now, almost. So it's just what it's been, and I've been loving it, and losing the weight, and I feel good. I feel better. My body mechanics is better, and I don't feel as rotund. But I want to encourage everyone to just stay on the journey. And I'm gonna say this. Sometimes you have to have those non-scale victories. My scrubs, they're huge now, so I still wear them, but I know that at one point they were too tight. So I do celebrate those non-scale victories. So don't live by that scale, because those non-scale victories are the ones that matter for me the most, because now it gives me opportunity to shop, which is one of my favorite pastimes, and purchase new clothes, which I've been doing lately, and I've been enjoying the fact that I can wear certain things. And so that's the way I celebrate my weight loss, by buying new clothes. The third question is, do you work out? Simply put, I do not. I do not work out. So basically, the 88 pounds that I've lost, I could have lost more weight. However, the weight that has been lost so far has basically been through changing my eating patterns, changing my eating habits. I've cut out carbs substantially. I've cut out sweets substantially. And with that being said, and cutting out those carbs and those sweets, I've been able to drop the weight. I've increased my water intake, and I bought a new water bottle. So I don't work out. The majority of my weight loss has come from eating, cutting back on eating. So what I've learned is the culprit in my weight gain was food. Mounjaro has changed my relationship with food. So the things that I used to eat and I used to overindulge in, I no longer do. When I used to overeat, I no longer do that. And I've noticed that since I've been on it, I don't have to eat everything that's on my plate. So now when I go out to eat, I am the takeout person. I don't eat everything that's on my plate. We went to Texas Roadhouse not too long ago. So mentally now, if I see food piled up on the plate, it's just me personally, I do get disgusted, because I'm just disgusted that it's so much food on this plate. And as Americans, we're taught to clean your plate. And I've learned that no, I don't have to clean my plate. So there's that. The fourth question is, have you noticed skin excess? I do have an excess of skin, and it's mostly around my abdominal area. I don't have excess skin around my legs and my arms. It's just around my abdominal area. And my abdominal area has always been a concern of mine, because I've always had a pooch all my life. So with that being said, and me having a pooch all my life, and then I gave birth to large babies because I had gestational diabetes, I have had my skin stretch beyond limits. So I do have the excess skin around my abdominal area, and hopefully I could work it out, but who's to say that skin will ever tighten up? So I do have excess skin, but like I say, it's primarily around my abdominal area. And another thing, the Mounjaro face, I've noticed, well, it hasn't happened to me, but I've noticed a lot of people, like when they're on Mounjaro and they lose a lot of weight, because the weight loss comes fast in a short amount of time. I have noticed that some people's face do sink in, but I haven't experienced that personally. I guess because I have a pie face. So I haven't experienced the sinking in of the face, but I have noticed the slimming of my face. Another plus of the weight loss, noticing the change in my face. You know, we all in this society now where everybody wants to have surgery, and I'm just glad I've lost the weight. If surgery is in another realm of mine, so be it, but right now I'm not considering it. I would like to, because you know, everybody wants vanity and have a flat stomach, but it may not ever come for me. However, I'm just glad and I'm thankful that I've even lost the weight. Fifth question. Have you experienced hair loss since being on Mounjaro? To be honest with you, I have thin hair. So if there's any hair loss that has been experienced with Mounjaro, I wear wigs like 100% of the time. So when I wash my hair, I do not notice a substantial amount of hair loss, but I do have thin hair. And I've always had thin hair because I'm genetically predisposed to having thin hair. So personally for me, I have not experienced any more hair loss than what I've normally experienced in between my wash days. So if you are experiencing hair loss, I take vitamins. I've started taking vitamins. So when I've experienced you know, biotin or whatever vitamins, what have you, and if you are experiencing hair loss, you may want to supplement your diet with vitamins because of the lack of vitamins you may be getting by not eating as much. So I would say just take like a multivitamin with some biotin, which is what I do. But I personally have not experienced a substantial amount of hair loss since being on Mounjaro. Being that I have thin hair already, so it's hard for me to tell if there's even more hair loss than what I normally lose because of, like I say, my genetics predisposure to having thin hair. How much water do you drink? I ain't gonna lie, I don't drink enough. We are supposed to drink our weight in water. So my weight is 212. So I'm supposed to drink 212 ounces of water a day at a minimum. But like I said, I have that half-gallon water bottle and I drink one of those for the day. So that's about a liter of water, 2 liters of water. So a half-gallon of water a day is what I do. So that's how much water I drink in a day. It is recommended you drink your weight in ounces in water, but I don't. Because some days it's hard for me to get it down because I'm so nauseous some days. Like today is one of those nausea days where I've been retching, I have been gagging, and I have been nauseous all day. And I have not had my Zofran with me today, so I've been feeling I've been wanting to vomit all day because of me being on the Mounjaro, me having the nausea. I drink maybe the 2 liters of water a day, but if I can get through it because of the nausea that's so bad on some days. The next question, number 7, is constipation and diarrhea remedies. For being on Mounjaro, you absolutely need to have a bowel regimen. It can constipate you, which goes back to the previous question in drinking your water so that you can keep your bowels lubricated and so that you can have successful bowel movements daily, or however you go, what is regular for you. I have added in a daily stool softener, which is the Colace, the docusate sodium. I've added in Colace into my bowel regimen along with a little bit of what is it, fiber. So I don't take supplemental fiber, I just try to fit fiber into my diet. And that's usually like with my breakfast and stuff. I try to fit fibrous things into my diet so that I can have a regular bowel movement, because being constipated, y'all, it will make you sick. It is painful, and being regular is very important because your bowel motility is slow. So you don't want to have a buildup of fecal matter in you where you have an impaction, and then you have to take other measures like enemas and the mag citrate to excavate your bowel. So having that bowel regimen is very important. So fiber and a stool softener, I can say that I take and I don't have any problems. But like I say, sometimes I do have those days where I have experienced that real bad diarrhea. And so those days are my at-home days. Because like I say, the diarrhea, it'll get you. It's the medicine. I'm sorry, everybody does it. Everybody defecates. So be it. But when it comes to that diarrhea, y'all, you have to be mindful of it, because you don't want to go into an electrolyte imbalance by having so much diarrhea. So I say it may last a day or two, but after the second day, I would say go seek the professional, medical professional, such as your licensed physician, nurse practitioner, physician assistant. Go see them after maybe that second day, or if it's more than 6 loose stools, you really need to watch it, because you don't want to be dehydrated, and then that sends you into a whole nother issue that may require medical attention and maybe a medical emergency because you're so electrolyte imbalanced. Stay hydrated, and you can supplement what's being lost with like sports drinks, Pedialyte, whatever you may take to supplement what's being lost by having those episodes of diarrhea. And another thing I would recommend is that brat diet, the bread, rice, applesauce, and toast, to help kind of with that diarrhea, so that you can kind of stay up on it and get the fiber and things that you need to kind of bulk yourself back up some. Can you take Mounjaro if you are not diabetic but obese? They have come out with the Zepbound, which is FDA approved for obesity, just like Saxenda and Wegovy has been approved for. It's a GLP-1, but it's been approved for weight loss. So with the Zepbound, it's really the same thing as Mounjaro, it's just relabeled for obesity use and weight loss. So an off-label use of Mounjaro is weight loss medication. That is an off-label use, but now we got an FDA approved medication that's designed for the use, but essentially it's just rebranded Mounjaro, which is Zepbound. So you can take it, but the thing of that will be the insurance issue that a lot of people experience and the expensiveness that Mounjaro is. The fact that Mounjaro is so expensive, that may deter people from getting it for weight loss. But if you can afford the cash price of Mounjaro or the Zepbound because your insurance don't cover it, go for it. But you can take it because it's FDA approved for that purpose. So I'm not going to debate about FDA approvals, because just because it's FDA approved don't mean it's good for you. Yet we're here all on Mounjaro, sharing our stories and having our successes with it, and maybe some failures, but mostly successes with it. So yet we're here discussing Mounjaro. We're all on it, so I'm not going to get into FDA approvals and all of that. So that's not my realm, that's not my thing, so I will not go into that discussion. But all in all, you can take Mounjaro if you are not diabetic but obese, because like I say, Zepbound now exists for that, and it's just rebranded Mounjaro. So if you can afford it, go for it, babes. I'm all for the weight loss, because we all deserve to be beautiful, and we all deserve to look good, and we all deserve to feel good about how we look. Okay? Foods to avoid while on Mounjaro. For me, I would say carbs, sugar. Let me tell you, when I overdo it with carbs, I feel so bad. I feel terrible. I feel sluggish. I feel slow. I just feel like weight is on me. So the carbs is a big factor in avoiding. Now you can't avoid all carbs, but carbs in moderation is the thing and the way to go. But an overindulgence of carbs, let me tell you, I've done that and I paid for it. So a high excess amount of carbs and a high excess amount of sugar It's what you'll want to avoid in order to not feel those effects. So let me tell you a story. The other day, I ain't gonna lie, I went to McDonald's and I bought that holiday pie because it looks so good, because I've had it in the past. Knowing I can't really tolerate sugar, I ate the whole pie, just a little whole pie. Y'all, I was so sick, and I actually have been sick ever since. So I'm starting to believe that my body cannot synthesize high amounts of sugar. So I've learned high amounts of sugar and carbs I need to avoid, because I will be sick. I tried to eat birthday cake one time and I could not do it. I just couldn't tolerate it. It makes me sick. So for me, carbs, an excess amount of carbs and high sugary foods, I avoid it because I don't want to be sick. Because I don't like how it makes me feel for the next couple of days, because I wanted to be a glutton and overeat or indulge in something I knew my body could not tolerate. So I just need to learn to listen to my body and not partake in those things that I have partaken in, and I will avoid that holiday pie from now on. All right. The last question is, how did you get your Mounjaro for $25? Insurance. Simply put, insurance and a coupon. That is how I got my Mounjaro for $25. I do Express Scripts. The most feasible way for me to get my hands on the Mounjaro is through Express Scripts, which is in partnership with my insurance company. So Express Scripts, you got to do a 3-month supply, which is 90 days or 84-day supply of medication. And with insurance, at a 3-month supply, it's $100. However, the coupon makes it $25 that I've obtained from the Mounjaro website. And what my doctor's office does is they send in the prescription with that coupon, because I had to get like I said, this is my second year going into being on Mounjaro. So I had to do the prior authorization all over again, even though I've been on it a year. I think it's ridiculous, but I had to go through that process all over again. I kind of got a jump start on it because I knew my refill was coming up. So we did the prior authorization process, and when she sent in the prescription, she sent in that coupon, and that allowed me to get my Mounjaro for $25 once again, because I've been on it for a year at $25 every time. And I got my last refill, which is going into my second year, and that one has been $25. So that's how I got my medication for $25. And I understand that some people have told me, even with insurance, it's $200, $300, $500. And that's ridiculous, but there's no control in pricing in the pharmaceutical industry. So with that being said, I don't have authority to set pricing or how insurance pays for the medication. I can only speak for my job that I get my medication through. So that's how I get Mounjaro for $25. And let me tell you, it is very cost effective, because I'd rather get a 3-month supply of Mounjaro for $25 rather than going to the retail pharmacy and paying $25 for a 1-month supply. And I've been having the toughest time getting my 1-month supply through my retail pharmacy. The only problem that I had, the only dosage that I had a problem getting was the 10 milligram Mounjaro, and it was like out. So I was out of Mounjaro for like 2 months. So with that being said, I had to go to Ozempic for 2 months. And then we just moved up to the 12.5. So I jumped from 7.5 to 12.5 because I could never get my hands on the 10. So I've been on 12.5 for over 6 months. So after this 3 months, it'll be 9 months. I've been on the 12.5. So with that being said, that's my Q&A. I want to thank you all for watching. And if you have any more questions, please leave your comment below. You can find me on Instagram at NurseKP and on Snapchat and TikTok at NurseKP. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned as we continue this journey. Bye, my Mounjaro friends. Have a good one.